Let's do now the following example, where we want to sketch the graph of a function that satisfies these 7 conditions, okay? So let's go one by one. As usual, we need a pair of axes, okay? And let's put here the conditions, and then we see how to connect those conditions. Okay, so let's start. So we have conditions, you see in 1, 2, and 3, we have a condition at -1. So let's put that one first. Let's put it here. -1. And then we have another condition at 1, correct? And then another condition at 2. So we need those two. So 1 and 2. Let me draw a line here. Okay. So now f of -1 is equal to 2. Actually, let's continue with yellow. So here we have 1. Then we know that the limit of f of x as x tends to -1 from the left is plus infinity. So we can signal it like this. Let's use a different color. There we go. That would be condition 2. This would be condition 1. Then when the limit from the right, when x tends to -1, that's condition 3, is negative infinity. So that's condition 3. F of 1 does not exist. Okay. So that one we keep it for later. And then the limit as x tends to 1 of f of x is infinity. Okay. So that should look like this. That's condition 5. Then 6 says that f of 2 equals 0. And 7 says that the limit as x tends to 2 is equal to 1, which would be here. This would be 7. Okay. So now we only need to connect the dots. Okay. So for example, just to keep things simple, we could do something like this. Okay. And then here we could do from 5 to 7 and then up again if we want. And then, for example, let's say we continue like this. Okay, from the left all the way up with an asymptote at -1. And then the only condition that was left was number 4, that says that the f at 1 is not defined, does not exist, but that's already, we are good because we didn't define any value of f of 1. Notice here that at -1 we said f of -1 is 2. So even if there is an asymptote, f of -1 is defined, but we are not doing that with x equals 1. Notice that here we didn't place any dot on the whole line, okay? And then the other thing is that at x equals 2, there is a gap there, and the point f of 2 is displaced. Okay, so again, let's make sure all the conditions are met. So condition number 1, f of -1 equals 2, which is met. This is 2. F when x tends to -1 from the left is infinity, and so on. Okay, I leave for you to check. I don't want to make this video longer, but it's very important every time we finish the problem to make sure all the conditions are met.